Hey, how's everyone doing today? Bringing you guys another updated walk around video of the Civic, since it's been probably about a year since I've actually done one. So this is what it's looking like right now. Don't mind the Red Bull sitting on my spoiler, but let's just go ahead and start towards the front of the car. Front of the car has Spec-D tuning headlights. They are extremely faded. I actually have headlight restoration kits in my front seat that I'm going to be using on these to get them up to par again, just because they are extremely weathered on both. Moving aside from the headlights, we have the Mugen style front lip, which surprisingly fit this bumper. Got that paint matched and put on right before last summer. And so we have the Mugen style lip. I actually have side skirts sitting in the garage for this thing still. I have yet to put them on. I don't know. The fitment of them is just off, and me being a semi-perfectionist, I really want to try and get them to fit the right way as opposed to just forcing them on. So we move from the headlights and the front lip to, if we were to pop the hood, I have a cold air intake and an Optima yellow top battery in there. So let's just pop the hood. We'll take a look and see what's under the hood. And then, so we've popped the hood. I actually don't keep my hood prop in here because it rattles around so much, but there's the yellow top Optima battery. There's the cold air intake. Nothing else super special done to it under the hood. It is an automatic, so it's nothing too special. It just looks good. It's not fast. One thing that I am going to be doing as far as maintenance goes, I'm going to be doing spark plugs, power steering fluid, and automatic trans fluid here soon. We're about 78,000 miles on it, so I figured might as well just get those done now as opposed to waiting later. But next we go to the wheels. These are Workmeister S1 three-piece wheels. I actually had them custom made and sent to me from Japan, and I sourced them through 3-Piece US, which I'll put them in at the bottom of the screen. Super great company to work with, super easy to work with. I think altogether the process of ordering the wheels and talking to them maybe took 15 minutes, not even. Got them made from scratch, from the ground up. It took about 3.5, almost 4. It was basically almost 4 months by the time that they got over to the States and got here. And I have to say, it's well worth the wait. If you guys are looking to source 3-piece wheels from Japan, check them out. They do great work. And Works Wheels also, shout out to you guys. You do an amazing job on your wheels, especially the finishes. I went with a 18 by 8.5 plus 29 offset with a bright buff finish, or polished is what they would say. Other than that, we did add some Mugen style window visors on both sides of the car. And if you guys really look, we actually added a carbon fiber wrap to the pillars here. And I still have to do the rear, which I'm going to save that for a different video, because a lot of the stuff like these I actually did with my father, and he helped me out a majority on those, but I actually want to learn to do more of this myself, and so we're actually going to be tackling that rear piece, I think, just me by myself. Next, we would go to the Thule roof rack, which is more so just for looks. It's just a bike rack, but it's actually broken, so I can't even really use it, but it is what it is. I'll take it. It could be worse. One thing I forgot to mention is on my front brakes, they actually have Brembo rotors and Hawk ceramic performance pads, and so I have experienced a big difference between the stock rotors and these Brembo rotors. They're not slotted or drilled or anything, but they are definitely better than the OEM rotors that come on the car. So I forgot to mention that, but those are exceptional when it comes to stopping. If I ever have to stop for a yellow or a red light, most of the time I'll try and go through it, but most of the time besides that I will have to come to a complete stop. And if we continue to walk around the car, as you guys can see, I don't have any side skirts, I already mentioned that, but we go to the rear of the car and we have the Mugen style spoiler with the Mugen style rear lip with the third brake light. And I have to say, fitting on the rear lip was probably the biggest pain of the entire process, just because of how it actually mounts up. You have your mounting points on the side here in the wheel well, and then there's not really any place that you can mount it along the back here. And so what I ended up doing is putting up a screw that you can't even see, it's hiding unless you actually really look, but I don't think too many people are actually going to take the time to bend their head down and look at that. But Mugen style rear lip, Mugen style spoiler. We are on Skunk 2 lowering springs and struts, and that's how we've gotten it to sit how it is. And I have to say, just for springs and struts, I haven't had to do any modifying to the suspension in order to get it to sit this way. The tires, I did have to, because of these tires and these wheels, I did have to roll and pull the fenders, more so pull in the rear and just roll in the front. But we ended up getting super clean lines, nothing too crazy. And when you look, that's the fitment that I'm ultimately chasing, is that lip to fender. And so the goal is to drop it down a little bit more, but hopefully over the next year or two we'll be saving up and doing bags to the car, just because I want to be able to take it to and from shows, which for me, I have to drive at least 5 to 8 hours to go to the nearest big show. So that's been a task in itself, just getting the car to the shows in one piece. Thankfully, haven't lost any lips, any splitters, nothing like that. I have tons of plans for the car. It's honestly only progressed a little bit since last time you guys saw it in my walk around video from last year. But if we actually take a peek on the inside now, don't mind the messy car, we actually have a JVC head unit that has the Apple CarPlay. And I have to say right now, if you do not have a double DIN setup in your car, what are you doing? Because I had, for the longest time, put it off, did not want to do it. And all of a sudden one just popped up for a super great price. I could not miss it. So I scooped it up, had one of my good friends, Joe, install it for me. It's also my coworker. But he used to do custom stereo installs and stuff like that, and so he actually hooked me up with installing it for me, making sure everything is right, and now I can actually watch movies too, so that's really cool. I mainly wanted to do that so that way I could have it posted up at a meet or a show and have something playing on the screen, just because I think that's pretty cool. I've been at Stance Wars before and they've had stuff playing in their cars while the car's just sitting there chilling, so just kind of getting a little bit of inspiration from everything that I've seen and implementing it into my own build. But from there, I think what we need to do is add spacers just slightly, because if you actually look at the fitment for the wheel, we're about 5 to 10 millimeters off. And so if we make that switch from just the stock, how it's mounted up, to the hub, and we actually put those spacers on there, we might actually be able to get a little bit more poke. Except my only issue is, especially with the driver's side front, is we are already basically tucking tire. So not really a whole lot we can do about that there. We've had the car for about 4 years. It's progressed many different times. It looks a lot different than when I first got it. But we are slowly on the track. Just to kind of give you guys an idea of what we're going to be working on next, we have quick releases for the front bumper, restoring the headlights, and I'm also going to be getting rear sway bar kit with end links, as well as a rear camber kit, so that we can add a little bit more camber in the rear and be a little bit more stance boy, hot boy, whatever you guys want to call it. But this is pretty much the walk around of the Civic. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did enjoy the video, please make sure to click that like button. If you haven't seen my content before and you want to see more, make sure to click that subscribe button. And if you guys want to let me know how I'm doing as far as making the videos, don't forget to leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think. If there's anything that you guys have questions on, please feel free to ask. I am always open to answering your comments and questions. But anyways, thank you guys for watching, and we will see you in the next video.